Hello and welcome to Frequency Friday. Today I want to talk about one of the frequencies I use most often in my own work, 7.83 Hertz. You can see here it's set to 7.83 Hertz. This is the PFC 2400 HD. You can change the frequencies. This is the JU99, which you can purchase for $199 on, the link will be in the description. This JU99, you can see that it's flashing at 7.83 Hertz. This one is set specifically. There's not even an on-off switch. You just plug it in, and it's an orgone generator that's set to 7.83. It's the entry-level device for like just adjusting, just like learning to use the orgone generators. It's a very, very simple device. You may have seen this number mentioned in meditation videos, frequency generators, manifestation practices, and conversations about grounding. But what does it actually mean, and why might someone choose to work with it? Let's begin with the grounded explanation. The Schumann resonances are naturally occurring electromagnetic resonances within the space between the surface of the Earth and the ionosphere. Lightning activity helps excite the resonances, and the lowest or fundamental frequency is commonly measured around 7.83 Hertz. This does not mean the Earth is producing one perfectly fixed tone at exactly 7.83 Hertz at every moment. There are several resonant frequencies, and natural conditions can cause variation. However, 7.83 Hertz has become the number most people associate with the fundamental Schumann resonance. So that's the frequency of the Earth. I think of it as a symbolic and practical grounding frequency. Some people don't, believe in the Schumann resonance, and but there are a lot of people that do, and that creates enough belief that it's grounding, that it makes it grounding. But I believe in the Schumann resonance. I believe that that is a frequency that our planet is working at. So I think of it as a symbolic and practical grounding frequency, not because we need to make exaggerated claims about it, but because it gives us a steady point of focus. It can become a reminder to return to Earth, return to the body, and return to the present moment. And sometimes that's exactly what a manifestation practice needs. A lot of people approach manifestation by immediately reaching outward. They focus on the goal. They think about what they want to attract, what they want to change, what they want to bring into their lives. But before we reach outward, it can be helpful to become steady within ourselves. When our attention is scattered, we may keep changing our intentions. We may question every decision, react to every temporary circumstance, or try to force an answer before we become quiet enough to recognize it. Grounding does not mean giving up on the goal. It means creating a more stable foundation from which to work. That's one of the reasons I often use 7.83 Hertz as a base frequency. I may use it by itself during meditation, or I may pair it with a trend energy card, an intention, or an orgone generator setup. I use an orgone generator to set the frequency and to work with it. But you can also go on shecard.com/vision to the vision portal, and there are sound frequencies there, and you can choose 7.83 as a frequency to work with on the vision portal. That's just a free app that I created. It's a web app. The frequency does not replace the intention. It does not replace action. It doesn't make decisions for us. It becomes part of the environment surrounding the work. Think of it like preparing the room before you begin. You might clear your desk, silence your phone, light a candle, or take a few slow breaths. None of these things complete the work for you, but they can help you enter a more focused state. A frequency can be used in a similar way. For today's practice, I'm going to work with 7.83 Hertz as a grounding layer. So we have the frequency setting here, 7.83, that you can set any frequency up to like 1,000 on using the PFC 2400 HD. We also have the JU99, which is pulsing at 7.83 Hertz. So, depending on what you have available, you can use a frequency generator, the vision portal, a recording, or simply write 7.83 Hertz at the top of the journal page as a symbolic point of focus. That's not going to actually run anything at 7.83, but it'll help you get into the energy. You do not need elaborate equipment to participate in the meditation. The most important part is your attention. Before we begin, choose one intention Keep it simple. You might choose, I am ready to feel more grounded. I am creating from a stable foundation. I allow my next step to become clear. Or you may have a specific goal you're already working towards. If you're using a trend energy card, you could pair 7.83 Hertz with a trend such as balance and harmony, solve problems, optimism, or secure success, depending on what you need. For example, if you've been feeling overwhelmed, you might use balance and harmony. If several parts of your life feel out of alignment, you could also choose balance and harmony. If you're trying to work through a specific challenge, you might use solve problems. If you're building something for the long term, secure success may be a good choice. The frequency becomes the grounding layer. The trend defines the direction. Your target or written intention identifies what you're working with, and your practical action helps bring the work into daily life. Let's take a few minutes now to experience this together. Sit in a comfortable position. You do not need to be perfectly straight, but allow your body to feel supported. Place your feet on the floor, if that is comfortable. Relax your hands. Let your shoulders drop. Take a deep breath in. And gently breathe out. Take another breath in. And breathe out without forcing it. Allow yourself to notice where you are right now. Notice the chair beneath you. Notice your feet. Notice the sounds around you. You do not have to block anything out. You are simply allowing yourself to become present. Imagine your attention slowly settling. Not disappearing, not becoming empty, just settling, like particles in a glass of water gradually drifting towards the bottom. As you listen to or focus on 7.83 Hertz, imagine it as a steady foundation beneath your intention. You do not need to chase your goal in this moment. You do not need to solve everything immediately. You're creating a stable place from which the next step can emerge. Bring your chosen intention to mind. See it written clearly in front of you, or simply repeat it silently. I am creating from a stable foundation. Take a slow breath in, and as you breathe out, release the need to control every detail of how the intention will unfold. Bring your attention back to your body, back to your breathing, back to the feeling of being supported. You might imagine roots extending gently from your feet into the earth. You do not have to see them perfectly. The image is simply a symbol of connection and stability. Allow those roots to hold you steady while your awareness remains open. Now ask yourself, what is one grounded action I can take? Do not demand an immediate answer. Notice what comes to mind. It might be sending an email, writing something down, cleaning your workspace, researching an idea, resting before making a decision, or choosing not to react to something immediately. Grounded action is not always dramatic. Very often it is quiet. Take one more slow breath in and breathe out. Bring your attention back into the room. Move your fingers, move your feet, and open your eyes whenever you're ready. After a practice like this, I recommend writing down anything you noticed. Do not worry about whether it's profound. You might write down a thought, a feeling, an idea, or one practical action. The purpose is not to prove that the frequency caused a particular result. The purpose is to observe your experience. That distinction matters. I believe experimentation is more useful than blindly accepting claims. Try working with 7.83 Hertz consistently for a few days. Use it during the same kind of practice each time and keep a short record. How did you feel before the practice? How did you feel after? Was it easier to focus? Did anything become clearer? Did you take a different action than you normally would? You may notice something meaningful, or you may simply enjoy having a consistent grounding ritual. Either result is valid. For me, 7.83 Hz works well as a foundational frequency because it reminds me not to build an intention on top of panic, urgency, or scattered attention. We can still want change, we can still work towards success, we can still reach for something new, but we can do it while remaining connected to where we are now. That is the heart of today's Frequency Friday practice. Ground first, choose a direction, take one practical step, and then allow the work to unfold without constantly pulling it apart to see whether it's working. Thank you for spending this Friday with me. I would love to know how you use 7.83 Hz in your own practice and which Trend Energy card you would pair it with. Until next time, stay grounded, stay observant, keep working with your intentions in a way that supports both your inner world and the life you're building.